Climate and Sustainable Development Network, a civil society group, is collaborated with the National Service Park (NPS) to curb the extinction of animal species in the country. Mr. Lucky Abeng, the research officer for Climate and Sustainable Development Network, said this in Abuja when he paid a courtesy call on NPS to celebrate the World Wildlife Day 2023 with the theme Partnership for Wildlife Conservation.
As CSDevNet, we thought it wise to, while marking the World Wildlife Day, pay a courtesy visit and also an excursion to the National Park Service to also understand what they are doing and see areas where we can build synergy to raise awareness, not just on the part of government, but also creating a nexus between civil society organizations and government in wildlife conservation. Interestingly, we also saw from the presentation of the National Park Service Conservator General that there are some species that you cannot find anywhere in the world, just only in Nigeria alone. And as civil society, it's going to be our effort to also amplify this effort of government to see how even community where these forests, where these endangered species are, can also play their part in ensuring that we conserve these endangered and prized species that we have in Nigeria.
Mr. Samuel Jinadu, the Program Advisor, Climate and Sustainable Development Network, has also assured that the group would partner to conserve wildlife and discourage poaching into the ecosystem to prevent wildlife extinction.
We see this service as a critical stakeholder in our activity. You know, climate change, you can't talk about climate change without different species of animals, especially those that are endangered, including the forest area. These are the reasons why we decided to form an alliance with you and to see how we can commemorate today's event and, you know, build a working relationship that we can, you know, take forward.
Responding, the CG said that NPS has a lot of wildlife extinction programs across the country and commended the will of partnership from Climate and Sustainable Development Network. He gave some of the wildlife extinction programs as teachers' support programs, skill acquisition, and tree planting, amongst others.
We also encourage tree planting. We also encourage people to embark on alternative energy source. So solar power is the in thing now. Then erosion prevention. So we'll liaise with new map to identify areas where there are erosion and bring in new map to assist such communities. So we also distribute essential drugs to clinics in communities. So distribution of farming support equipment like fertilizer, we procure and share. The National Park Service plays a very strategic role in the mitigation of negative effects of climate change. So the 7 national parks in Nigeria, which cover a land area of 22,206 square kilometers, represent about 2.5% of the country's total land mass of 923,768 square kilometers. Of the 6.7% of the country's land under protective vegetation cover, the national park accounts for about 3.7% of this figure. So it means currently most of the vegetation cover in Nigeria are held in the national park.